In a political landscape more divided than ever, a new battleground is emerging, one that could ultimately determine the outcome of the 2024 election. And this time, it's not voters alone who may be deciding the winner. No, we're talking about the role of partisan election boards in key swing states and the incredible influence they could wield over the results. But how did it come to this? How did something as fundamental as an election's integrity become a tug of war? And what does this mean for the fate of democracy? Imagine an election so close, so deeply contested, that the outcome doesn't come down to the popular vote or even the electoral college but to a handful of people seated behind closed doors, the members of partisan election boards. This scenario sounds like a plot twist in a political thriller, yet it may be a very real possibility come November 2024. So, what's happening? And why are election boards, groups that most voters have rarely, if ever, thought about, suddenly such key players? In swing states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin, these boards oversee crucial aspects of the election process, from certifying results to addressing ballot disputes. Normally, this is a process that flies under the radar, quietly ensuring that every vote is counted. But now, there's a catch. Many of these boards are staffed by partisans appointed by political parties. And the closer we get to 2024, the clearer it becomes that these individuals could make decisions that impact not only their state but the entire nation. What would happen if these partisan boards disagree on key issues? What if they can't come to a consensus on election results or how ballots should be handled? The thought is chilling, especially when we consider that any deadlock could lead to prolonged legal battles and, perhaps even worse, widespread public distrust. This is where it gets even more complicated. In recent years, both major parties have intensified their strategies, positioning loyalists in these very roles. Critics argue that this could lead to a scenario where election boards, rather than the ballots cast by citizens, are the ones making the ultimate call in contested races. Now, it's worth asking, is it possible these partisan boards could directly alter the course of the election? Officially, their job is simply to ensure a fair process. But some say it wouldn't take much. A few controversial decisions, a bit of pushback, a refusal to certify under certain conditions, for things to spiral into chaos. And, remember, this doesn't have to happen in every state. Just one or two critical swing states would be enough to reshape the entire map. What's at stake here isn't just the 2024 election but the precedent it could set for every election that follows. If the outcome can hinge on a select few, if trust in the process can be eroded at such a foundational level, then what does that mean for democracy going forward? As the clock ticks down to 2024, the spotlight is on these election boards like never before. Will they uphold the principles of democracy, or will partisan pressures push them to unprecedented actions?